Welcome everybody to an exciting episode of Geek Boots because this is kind of like the first, hey, we're on YouTube! Whoa! Here at Geek Boots, we like to tell you all about the big green weenie and how it likes to continue to fuck us. Just like how Tom Holland plays Spider-Man, and when he was filming Homecoming, he was far away from home. But then when he films the movie titled Far From Home, he is literally in his backyard.
Yeah, he was like 20 minutes from his parents' house.
Yeah.
So that's fun. With tonight's, go ahead.
I just realized. I wonder if they were like, "Yeah, he's staying with his family" in the movie. They were just like, "Oh, he really is." Like,
You don't have to pay for craft services or a hotel room for him.
Yeah, like when Ryan Reynolds
says it's food during the time you're shooting, so they're still paying for that.
When Ryan Reynolds was filming both of the Deadpool movies, he said he was literally a mile away from home. So, like, that's fucking insane.
that's what happens when you get to finally do your pet project. You got to put it where you want.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Today, whenever the fuck you decide to watch this, this episode is about the 4th of July, because we just had the 4th of July. Woohoo! America!
Yeah, America.
We will be paying respects to Rip Torn briefly, because he just passed away on Tuesday. So, if you don't know who that is, we're going to give you a little bit about him, and it's going to be kind of an ongoing thing with this podcast and this show is, hey, yeah, great. All the news agencies are going to remind you of all the movies that these people have done. By the way, they serve their country, so you should know. And then finally, we're going to talk about Avengers, the post-credit scene for maybe 2 minutes. And then Spider-Man. So it's going to be kind of a jam-packed episode. I hope you brave it with us. So, 4th of fucking July. All right. I don't even know what to say. 4th of July is kind of like, where we talked about Memorial Day. There's Memorial Day. It's sad. It's fuck off. And then there's Veterans Day. And then there's 4th of July where we're just like, fuck yeah, fireworks and shit. So, yeah, birth of our country, loving the American flag for some of us. I know I do. And just fucking looking back at everything America's done that is amazing and just saying, cool. And then, obviously the future of our nation. So, yeah, I unfortunately live in a state that has been really hard pressed to outlaw fireworks. So, unfortunately, I didn't get to do jack with the side of shit with my fucking weekend, which fucking sucked. But, well, I mean, that's not true. I went and saw Spider-Man. So,
Jack shit my ass.
Yeah, right.
That's a sentence out of context doesn't make sense.
Whatever. But I used to live on a very large hill up near the mountains in a place called Marysville, and it had a really great view of the entire town of Marysville. And before they outlawed fireworks there, it was kind of like just a nice sea of fireworks coming up into the sky. It was beautiful. I really love 4th of July, barbecues, celebrating my nation. That's all I got. I'm going to throw it over to Single Dad.
Yeah. Okay, so 4th of July was kind of it was kind of fun this year because this year my kids had just gotten back. And I know I actually had to turn down a couple invites to be in parades and everything like that because the Cosplay for Chalk had the Huntington Beach parade that day, and I did not know exactly when I was going to be picking my kids up on that day. And I hadn't seen them in a week. They had just flown in from Delaware. So I got the call to come pick them up, went and picked them up, and then we just kind of hung out that day. And so I took all the time that I could to be with family and everything like that. Listened to the fireworks, hugged the dogs, made sure that they were okay, make sure they weren't freaking out or anything like that. And yeah, it was just a nice family night. And then took the boys to see Spider-Man the next day.
Huzzah!
Yeah.
All right, and now we're going to throw it over to Cosplay Jenemy, your 4th of July.
So for 4th of July, I went to IKEA.
Yeah, IKEA.
Wait. invented ideas.
Yay,
So
capitalism!
did you burn a lot of shit? No, I'm just kidding. You set off some fireworks at IKEA. That'll help.
I celebrated, America by going to the largest Swedish store. And I had Swedish meatballs for lunch. Oh.
Yes, gotta
Only
love
in
those horse meat.
America.
Yes.
Horse meat meatballs,
So
gotta love them.
American. Yes.
I bought a bed frame, so my bed is finally off the floor. I've been sleeping on 2 mattresses on the floor for the last 10 years of my life. So I'm finally a grown-up.
Hey, you're living the American dream now.
So I'm doing this podcast from my bed. No, I'm actually doing this podcast from my bed because my back hurts and I got in a car accident. So.
Fun fact, yeah. Yeah.
Fun fact.
Glad you're okay.
So we've openly invited everyone that's watching this podcast to come enjoy time in Cosplay Genemy's bed.
And now from now on, I'm never going to be able to podcast from anywhere else. Except for this camera is driving me crazy because it's like always on portrait mode. So it's like, here's my face. Nothing else behind me.
Fiber Optic said nothing says America like Swedish furniture.
Nothing says America like made in China.
Oh, I feel like there's a "Make America Great Again" joke in there somewhere.
Make America China again?
I mean, y'all saw my story on the 4th of July. I was gonna sit around, drink German beer, drink Mexican beer, eat German bratwurst, and on furniture made in China. Why? Because I'm fucking American.
America.
That's what freedom's all about.
Fuck yeah! Coming together to save the motherfucking day,
Motherfucking
yeah.
day, yeah.
Meanwhile, blowing everything up in their path.
Yeah, fireworks are highly illegal in Colorado.
What?
Fun fact. You can
You're
go
allowed to
see
smoke
them.
pot.
Yep. Yeah, pretty
Backwards.
much.
Backwards pageantry, that is.
I'm just saying,
There's
forest,
sorry.
forest fires are bad, okay?
Yeah,
They're
there's
just
Uh,
lighting different things up. It's okay.
there's a few
They're
locations
worse in California
that
than
allow-
Colorado.
There's a few locations that allow fireworks for like group things,
Yeah,
but
that's
there's
like if someone's presenting it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
In Seattle, they do a fireworks display, but it's like that's in Seattle. That's it.
But out of like the 6 bases around here, only one of them is allowed to have it.
Motherfuckers.
So not the Air Force Academy.
Really? That surprises me.
You know,
I figured
Wow.
anywhere it would be the academy.
I think it's down at Fort Carlson.
it's like
Is
my
the one to
dad.
get it.
Gross.
It's like blah.
I mean, when it doesn't even get dark until like 10 o'clock, I'm not
Yeah.
keeping my kids up that late because they're crazy if they don't sleep.
Well, it's like what my dad said when we first found out that it would be the last year that they could fire off fireworks in town. My dad goes, I mean, what are they gonna do? Arrest all of us? I say we just go ahead and light them off anyway. Like,
Well, I live on base, so yes, I would.
you're fine.
But when I lived in Louisiana, we always did like this big block party, and we lit them off in the middle of the street. It was,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was amazing. It was like the thing. But I live in a desert now, so we're worried about things catching on fire. And there's a lot of wildlife here too.
Wait.
Let's light fireworks, and then see the bears come running.
It's like,
That was-
oh,
Yay.
Oh.
America! Here comes Putin.
America. Fuck
Rawr.
No, because now you freaked out all the wild.
Disney World. Fuck yeah. Applebee's. Fuck yeah.
Fuck
The
yeah.
Milky Bond.
Fuck
yeah.
yeah! Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! Oh, my favorite meme that I had to post was fucking they put America Great Again hat on top of George Washington's head, erased the bottom line to just say Make America.
Make America. Yep.
I was like, yes, there it is. Perfect. Anyway, my goddess, it is now your turn.
My 4th of July was crazy. Okay, so I did get invited to the Cosplay for Chalk parade in, was it Huntington Beach?
Huntington Beach, yeah.
Huntington Beach. I could not go because I was doing a parade with Kids Can Cosplay. on 4th of July, and then
Right.
it was the same day at the exact same time, and I was like, oh, sorry. So
And that's totally cool.
yeah, I had to sacrifice one charity for another charity. Oh darn. So did that, and then
You're a horrible person.
thank you.
Make a clone of yourself and go to both.
That would make
If I had a
panels so much
clone
easier,
of myself, I wouldn't go to work.
right?
Like, anyway.
I mean, I guess one of me would.
The one that matters would not. No, I'm kidding.
What?
Finally,
yeah.
someone said it.
So did the Kids Can Cosplay Parade in Tustin, and then went from there to Anime Expo because it was day one of Anime Expo, which
Yep.
was like of all
Yay.
the like as far as anime conventions are concerned, that's the one. That's the one to go to. Did that, which was so crazy on so many levels for a bunch of different reasons, and then after that came home fairly late to a place that is totally okay with fireworks. Like people were out in the street like lighting fireworks off left and right, like, and to the point where the Lyft driver that was there, we had to like turn and take it.
Oh, good. She froze.
Fireworks like right at the
First
intersection,
time
and they were
got-
going off as we were turning. It was just like we're like,
So,
oh, you might want to check your car. It might be on fire. Don't
by
worry.
the way, we're laughing for an entirely different reason. You froze in mid-sentence.
You were like this and then froze.
And then you came back, still talking.
You
Still
came
talking.
back, still talking towards. Then we fired fireworks at their car, and I'm like, well, okay.
What?
Oh, that was great.
Um,
Ooh, I
yeah,
can make my
so we did
face
that.
blur if I hold my hands up.
so yeah, that was my 4th of July, which, by the way, fireworks are very interesting with a 2-day-old, because there is now a newborn in the house. I'm really happy. Anyway, so yeah, that was my 4th of July.
Very
And-
nice.
You'll
Before we
never know what
continue, though, if
happened
I
in
may say
between.
one comment, though, Sandman8907 wanted to give a shout out to Single Dad, who is going Captain Hook with his mustache curls.
Thank you.
So yeah.
Don't forget mine and Goddess's mustache. God.
Yeah, I've been working so hard on it.
Hey, Baba. Welcome home.
And now, 4th of
I keep
July.
trying to like make my
J4.
cat not blurry.
It's
I
not happening.
totally like.
Just
I
make
totally
your
gave him
hand
middle
blurry.
finger right when he was
Although-
too bad.
Strangely
It's
enough,
okay.
your dog is in and out of being blurry. Like there'll be moments where your dog, there, right there, right now. See,
Right
your
there,
dog
he's
is
fine. He's fine.
Your cat, nothing, blurry.
Well, we have to be able to see him lick his nuts in high def.
I want the 4K.
He looks at me like, what?
He's like, what?
He knows. Oh, he knows. He's
What?
looking
Are
at
you
us
gonna
like,
do it for me? No, I'm gonna do it myself.
Oh, right there, right there, right there. Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Anyway, J4, 4th
We're
of
like
July.
in video now.
I worked.
Yeah.
That was my
That's
4th of
that's
July.
very true. That is very true.
For our listeners
Thank you.
who either are just now tuning in because now we're on YouTube or what have you or whatever, he is still deployed. So it's like he's celebrating 4th of July, fighting for your fucking freedoms
Just gonna say this.
from a
Thank
chair.
you- Thank you for not making things go boom on 4th of July.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And everyone
Funny story.
it's legally not allowed to talk
Yeah,
about.
let's see.
Oh, I could.
We're good.
Not that
Back.
story. I can't talk
Okay.
about that story. But one thing I can talk about is. No, I actually don't think I can talk about that. Never mind.
Yeah, let's not.
He's like, and then there's a no, no.
No,
I
I
did
can't-
that.
no.
No. What about that? No.
No.
No,
can't
like
say
I'm
that. Never
pretty
mind.
sure I can, but I don't know for certain because I haven't seen anything in the news yet.
Okay.
Oh, good.
So that's
There you go,
generally,
listeners.
generally if it's in the news, it's already known.
Sure. That's how that works.
Well,
Well,
thank you
alright.
for not making the news yet.
Oh, it had nothing to do with us. It was just
Thank you
a
for
funny
not
way to
causing
link
an
it.
international incident.
Yes.
I've done that. It's not fun.
About that, I didn't cause it.
Oh my god.
Wasn't my fault.
Oh God, we're all
Just
doomed.
Anyway,
World is definitely doomed.
Thank you for working hard for our freedoms,
Yes, from your chair.
whether it's 4th of
Yes.
July or not.
Right. Tons of we'll get there one day, but I really love 4th of July on the internet because fucking all these other veteran-owned companies that make way more than we do, obviously, who are turning a profit. They all posted amazing, fantastic, and hilariously super patriotic, star-spangled awesome videos. They're just fucking fantastic. Of course, a lot of them were like, "Go fuck yourself, Kaepernick, you piece of shit," but they were still fucking awesome. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, he had the audacity to say the American flag was racist because of its
No.
history, and I'm over
No.
here like, but
No.
Betsy Ross was a Quake, before abolitionists happened. So, but of course, this is the internet, and nobody actually fact checks anymore. They just hear a famous person say something, and then they run a mile a minute with their information.
Memes
and
are
then-
fun.
Memes are fun. It'll be a really bad day in our world where memes are like how we fact check.
Okay, now, hold on. Before, think about this. Think of the state of news and news stations in the world before the Daily Show came on.
Yeah, right.
And Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Okay, and then how
I
many
love
people
that
started?
guy.
I know, but then how many people started getting their news from Jon Stewart?
That's true.
I mean, yes,
That's
it was
true.
it was entertaining and everything like that, and yes, he put a spin on it. But I remember watching that show. Yeah, it was definitely leaning one way, but he would generally put both sides of the argument
Oh, yeah.
on there.
Oh yeah, that's
And
what I
yeah.
loved about
And
Jon
it's not
Stewart.
like his bias was hidden.
No.
No.
He
but
was very upfront about his
But
bias.
he was very
Yes.
intelligent, and he made sure to comment
Correct.
on that because I if you did something stupid, you were gonna end up on his show no matter what.
Yes.
Like I
Yes.
don't remember what was going on, but Hillary Clinton was in the news at the time when he was still in, and they were talking about something with Hillary Clinton and something really stupid. So they do the thing. It cuts back to him, and he goes, "Who gives a shit?" And I was just like, "Exactly, thank you."
You're right.
Fucking A. Like, I wanted Jon Stewart to say the exact same thing when I watched how MSNBC wanted to really critique the way Donald Trump eats cheeseburgers. And I'm like, there's a lot of other things that you could be
There's-
reporting on.
Right.
And you want to talk about how he eats a cheeseburger with a fork and knife. Go fuck yourself. Are you fucking
Whoa,
kidding me?
whoa, wait a minute. I missed this. Are you saying the president of my country eats a
Our country,
cheeseburger with
Our
country with a fork and a knife like some sort of serial killer?
Well,
I
he's a
mean,
narcissist, so it kind of makes
he's-
sense.
he's quite literally the guy in the meme that is this some peasant joke that I don't understand? But getting back to my point, bringing up the Daily Show, I mean, that's the way this country is going.
Yeah.
Idiocracy. I mean,
Well,
we are
I'm
going to be
obsessed.
getting our news from memes. We are going to be getting our information from tidbits and snippets and
Mhm.
vines and everything like that. And nobody gives a fuck anymore.
And
Well, I'm
soon
obsessed
it
with
will
the,
be
Netflix
the
show.
dinosaurs.
I'm obsessed with the Netflix show Patriot Act. I don't know if you guys seen that.
Oh, with
Heard it.
Hassan Minaj.
Yes, because he's a comedian, and he's giving political news.
See,
Pretty funny.
I'm not super sold on what's the new guy on the Daily Show? What's his name again?
Trevor
Trevor
Noah.
Noah.
Trevor Noah. On the show itself, I'm not always sold, but what I absolutely love is the bits where he's talking to the audience and he's just having conversations with them. Open, candid conversations, and they're very intelligent, and he's very balanced, he's very civil, and I fucking love it.
Have
Funny
you
or
seen
not,
that
Trevor
man's
Noah
butt?
is intelligent.
Have you seen? I'm gonna be thirsty for a second. Ugh.
No, but I've seen America's
That boy do
ass.
leg day, okay. That boy do
You
leg
have
day.
not seen my ass.
I have. I've touched it. Shut up.
I don't remember this, but it's probably true.
He's like, oh
I
yeah.
He
don't
waited.
doubt that for a second.
He did.
With
He did
both
what any
hands.
good army guy would do. He
He
waited till
touched
you were good and
America's
drunk.
ass.
Yeah, goddamn right. Speaking
waited-
of speaking of America and patriotism and loving our country, like I said before, we are trying to take a moment to just acknowledge things that are military, like celebrities you may not know. Because for me, it sometimes gets a little on my nerves when I Google up the celebrity who's dead to find out when that happened, and not a single thing is ever posted about their service. So to you, Rip Torn, we will now all commemorate your comedic memory by listing off our favorite quotes of yours, and I shall begin. Is it necessary for me to drink my own urine? No, but I do it anyway because it's sterile and I like the taste. Mayan Goddess, you're up next.
From the same movie.
Okay.
Holy hell, son, you're about as useful as a cock-flavored lollipop. He said that with a serious face. Yes.
Oh.
Oh god, so many good one-liners.
I know, and you just
was
took
such-
mine.
Oh
Aw.
no! Now we have to. Now I have to take a minute so that Single Dad
Damn
can
it,
find
bitch.
his.
Did we just fight over a cock-flavored lollipop? quote?
Snap! Stole your
did.
quote.
It was probably purple.
Purple.
I like pepper.
Cosplay
Yeah.
Genevieve.
She has
I'm
perfect
not-
quotes.
Cosplay Genevieve.
So,
it's your turn.
we all talked about this, about that I'm really bad with actors, so I had to look him up beforehand. And he's not in a whole lot of movies that I really watch. Sorry, guys. So I had to go back to like 80s.
Okay.
And now I'm just like looking at quotes and finding memes of Hercules. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's Hades and
Very blurry.
Oh, it's it's Zeus
Oh.
and Hades.
Zeus and Hades going on, and it's like, so Hades, you finally made it. How are things in the underworld?
Yeah, he did say that.
And then the other one that's like really good is like, the true hero isn't measured by the size of his strength, but by the strength of his heart.
Wow.
Okay, I know
You
you guys
just
were doing
said some
funny things.
really fucked up things just now.
I know, but I
Took
love
me
Disney
down to
movies.
heart.
Shut up. Shut up. I love
Look,
Disney.
he was Zeus and Hercules, and it was super awesome.
J4,
Really
are you
was.
ready?
And there's some really good ones, but I don't have the
J4,
movie memorized. I apologize.
It's all good. J4, it's your turn, good sir, if you're ready.
Gentlemen, congratulations. You're everything we've come to expect from years of government training.
Wait, what was that one from?
Jeff,
Men in Black.
Jeff,
Right
just
before
take a
he-
minute and look right here.
Oh yeah.
And then he zaps them all.
Yeah.
I just find it so appropriate. It's like,
Yes.
we've sunk all this money into you. Yeah, not good enough. We're
Get
taking a New York City cop that can run and use a bus.
If it hadn't been for the fact that this episode's mainly purpose is about Spider-Man, I could do a big green weenie joke on that alone.
Yep.
Single
Oh,
Dad,
man.
do you finally have a quote now?
Yes, but same movie, a little
Okay.
bit earlier.
Okay.
All right. Would you mind explaining to me why you felt little Tiffany deserved to die? When Will Smith is just standing there, everybody else is like fucking going to town at the range, and he's just standing there looking, pop,
Pop
Yeah.
one
Hits the-
shot.
hits the little girl square
It was
in
a
the forehead.
great
Wait
shot,
to it.
though.
I know, it
Just
was.
way too advanced for her, Zed.
That guy's just working out.
He's just
How would I
he's got
feel
a-
if somebody came
him.
and busted
He's
my
just-
ass for
he's
him on the
dark.
treadmill?
He's just got a cold. You
He's
shoot him.
sneezing.
Sneezing. You just shoot him.
Oh, that's so
And
funny.
Zed's just sitting there with like one brow quirked up going, am I really listening to this right now?
Freaking serious right now?
Are you sure
But
that,
it
are you
makes
sure,
sense.
sure he's the guy you want? He chased down such and such
Cephalopod.
cephalopod for like 2 miles. That's gotta be something. Yes, that was
Ah.
I think I watched that movie once.
Girl,
I haven't even seen the new one.
I haven't either.
I am
That's
going to
because
Disneyland and I'm sending you pictures just to make you jealous, just because you said that.
You were gonna do that anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
I mean, again,
Honestly.
for all we know, she's saving up for the idea. She's gonna surprise the fuck out of us there. We're gonna be like just walking through, and she'll be, "Hi guys, I've been waiting." What the fuck?
No, she'll be
Yeah.
like,
She won't
hey
know where to
guys,
go.
fuck you too.
I'm a planner, so it would not be good. I'd be like, or I would never see you because I would be got lost doing my own thing.
Yeah, true.
She's like, oh, shiny castle.
That one's kind of short and squatty. Oh well, let's go look at
Yeah.
it.
Rest in peace to Rip Torn. He lived to be 88. He served in the United States Army and he was military police. So to him, thank him for his service and rest in peace. We will all see you when we see you.
Go Valhalla.
Mm-hmm. All right, now for a very brief moment, because I don't know about you guys, as much as I love the movie, I'm fucking tired of talking about it. Endgame post-end credits scene.
I didn't watch it.
I don't.
Okay,
It's
I was
Haven't gone to
working.
seen it yet.
can I vent for a second?
go for
about
it.
that.
Sure.
Okay. Well, no, go ahead about the scene and then I'll vent because.
Well, there's there's nothing really to it. Honestly, it was just it was as we expressed before. It's an excuse to go see the movie again to beat Avatar. Which,
Yeah.
by the way, it already did, guys.
Yeah, opening weekend. It
Opening
beat them.
weekend,
It didn't.
already beat
The
'em.
only thing that it didn't do is it didn't overall gross for the whole time it was open. But Avatar was out for 147 days.
Avatar had a re-release as well.
Yeah.
No,
so
it
like,
stayed out. It
yeah,
stayed out.
no, it was out the whole
Nope.
time.
It was out the whole time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which most
So
movies don't. So of course it hadn't.
yeah, and like, I'm sorry, Marvel. Business wise, that was a stupid thing to do. To basically expect your fans who have already seen it like 3, 4, 5, 6, and in Sean Richter's case, 7 times already, and say like, "Hey, go and watch it again," and then still save up money so that you can watch Spider-Man a couple days later.
A couple of days later, literally.
Like, and as the numbers showed, that's basically
I
what
mean,
the
yeah.
consensus was. No, I'm going to save my money for Spider-Man.
Yep.
And yeah, it like from a business standpoint, it would have been better for them to have released Spider-Man the weekend that they re-released Endgame. Though, to be fair, like them releasing it on
To be
Tuesday.
fair.
Is that gonna be a thing now? Are we gonna get sued by Letterkenny? What's going on?
But yeah, like it was one of those things where it was like, yeah, I'm sorry, Marvel. I'm not gonna do that to my wallet. I've
Yeah.
given you so much of my money already.
So what
yeah.
I'm hearing is I'm the only one who actually went and did it.
The clips ended up on YouTube anyway.
That's
Yep.
fine.
So I
So-
It's on.
I
So
didn't
the
even
clip
look
about
up.
the Hulk-
I didn't even look
it's
up the
about the Hulk.
clips. I
I
didn't really.
I didn't either.
I was
What
like,
is-
oh really?
what is
I
the
should
clip?
probably-
It's a really good, like, I want to say almost 2 minutes, maybe, tribute to Stan Lee, literally showing him on set for every cameo he's been on, and just him talking about how he's so fortunate that all he wanted to do was make a comic book so that he could pay the rent, because back in that time, it wasn't exactly lavish, and he didn't expect it to go so far as to be making millions and billions of dollars.
I was gonna say there's a B there.
Yeah.
So he's just very blessed is his response to it all, and just and everyone's blessed to have gotten the chance to meet him. It was really touching. It really was. I liked it. And then the deleted scene that they did was Hulk at, I'm probably going to pronounce this really, really wrong, but Hagatazi or Magatazi Palace from Die Hard. That hotel that is featured in Die Hard, it shows up and Hulk comes out of it saving a bunch of
Nakashima?
people. I don't fucking know.
Nakatomi.
Magatami? I don't know. I don't
think
know
it's
what it is.
Nakatomi.
Nakatomi.
Yeah, it's
Nakatomi.
Nakatomi.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah,
Thank
he
Yeah.
comes out of it, saves them, and the man who played the cop helping Bruce Willis's character in that movie, he plays a fire chief in this scene, and to me,
Oh,
the
gosh, what's his name? Carl Winslow?
Yes.
yes, I appreciated it. I liked it. The only reason why I liked this scene is because it made Ant-Man's reference to Die Hard when referencing time traveling movies a lot more sense than just some random like, what the fuck are you saying, Paul Rudd? What the hell? Because now it's like, oh, we've had this earlier reference. Now we're going to use it again to do the, couple of jokes to bury the punchline or whatever the fuck it is. But yeah, no, it was okay. And then of course they obviously show you the beginning of Spider-Man Far From Home. So I'm like, okay, but most of this is in trailers, so I don't understand why you're showing us this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, like it's one of those
Sony's
things
got to throttle back on them trailers.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
gave away half the movie in the trailers.
Yep. Well, again, as stated before, so I had the pleasant experience of having somebody who's never read any of the comics at the theater because she just loves the Spider-Man movies. And when it is revealed with Mysterio, because if you don't know, then
spoiler
there's
Time
alert.
out.
Spoiler alert.
she, yeah, I'll talk about it during the spoiler review.
Later.
But yeah,
It's okay. We got you.
yeah, it was the only
We
reason
got you
why.
fans who are deployed right now and active duty that don't get to see it yet.
Yeah, right. So, but yeah, the only reason why I went is because I hadn't gotten the chance to see it at all because it's been sold out for fucking ever, and then I decided to go out and see other movies with my time. Because hey, all these other empty theater rooms and Endgame's full, so I'm just gonna go see these other movies instead. Is basically what happened. That's literally it. Now you guys can move on with your lives with Endgame.
It's
Yeah.
one of those things where it's like it's gonna come out in the DVD anyway. May as well save your money for that.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
Let's be honest, more people are going to be buying that physical copy than they bought Avatar.
oh yeah,
Oh God, yeah.
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Saying.
Yep. So, anyway, now for Spider-Man, the moment you've all been waiting for.
I thought, are we going to do Anime Expo?
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess we can.
It'll be really quick.
No, I'm not complaining. I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, okay. All right, we'll do Spider-Man afterwards. All right, we're gonna discuss Anime Expo for those that went, and they're gonna give their insights on Anime Expo. Then we'll give you all the Spider-Man juiciness.
Okay. Cosplay
Yeah,
Dad, do you want to go
There
first?
you go. Yeah, that was Anime
Because
Expo.
you were there
Just-
for one day.
just
I was
this-
there for 4.
I was yes.
A slap on
So-
the knee, and that's all we get. Anime Expo. It's y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was there. No, okay, so I am still this is kind of odd, and I have to touch on this. I'm still on my hiatus from conventions and everything like that. But I got a last minute call from a friend of mine who was in town, and she was like, "Listen, I really want you. I'm gonna be there. Really want you to come shoot me, and I just need to get you there. I'll pay you." And I was like, okay, cool. So I had a booked gig. Why are you shooting me?
Because you said shoot
Because
me.
hey, if your other friend gets to shoot you, or you get to shoot them, we get to
You
shoot
get
you.
to shoot you.
All right. So I was there in a professional capacity. Did not buy a badge or anything like that, but I knew where to go where I could still take pictures. So I got there, and I got there around 2:00 in the afternoon. It was awesome. Saw a lot of people. It was hectic because those of you that don't know the LA Convention Center, it's right next to the Staples Center. Literally, I mean, they are next door to each other. So there's events going on at the Staples Center, including concerts and everything like that, while the convention's going on. Now, mind you, 350,000 people in attendance, plus in attendance for Anime Expo. So the fact that it was 30 degrees cooler this year than it was last year, it was only in the 80s instead of in the 100 and teens.
Mhm.
Yeah. everybody was having a great time, staying hydrated and everything like that. So I had an absolute blast. I got to talk to a few people that I haven't seen in a while. But then when people start coming up to me, Mind Goddess, and I didn't actually see her there, but when I get the messages afterwards that they're so happy that I've returned to conventions and I'm going to cons again, I'm like, no, I was here in a professional capacity.
Right.
So that's kind of what where I am at. That's where I'm at right now. So the 3 hours that I was there, I had an absolute blast. So I did it on my terms, and now we get to hear the other side of the story from Mind Goddess.
Is 3 hours enough to count how many staples fit in the Staples Center?
No,
Sorry, I had to. I don't know why. Don't judge me.
Now I'm craving
we're gonna
Tootsie Pop.
judge you, but not for that.
Yeah. We've got plenty to judge you on. Okay, so
Aw.
I'll get
Leave
Yeah.
the dad jokes to the dads, Morg.
Joke's on you. That only hurt my feelings.
Hey, look, I have an Asgard.
Ah,
Kitty.
Asgardian.
I heard Asgard, then
Kitty's by
Asgard.
the kitty. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'd have turnover.
If you haven't figured it
the
out
NC-17
now,
version of the Geek Boots military.
if you haven't
Wait,
figured
Wait,
it
isn't
out,
that always?
listeners, if you haven't figured it out by now, listeners, please do not have your children present. Anime Expo, go.
Okay. So Anime Expo, there were hundreds of thousands of people in this place, and it's safe to say that it's outgrown the LA Convention Center.
Yes,
Um,
easily.
yeah, easily, because the crowds were definitely more than I think Anime Expo was anticipating, and so there were talks of like hashtag LineCon all over Instagram and stuff like that, because yeah, the lines got crazy. There were lines, particularly on Thursday, that were 5 hours long just to get in. So, that being said, the reason why Anime Expo is like the big one is that there are major animes like My Hero Academia and things like that that they premiere. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. But yeah, they premiered My Hero Academia season 4 at Anime Expo before Japan.
Yeah.
So there were so many people there. There were and like it was amazing. Like for my anime fans, it was so good. But yeah, there were major cosplayers there. There were just amazing cosplay work as far as like armor and makeup and just wigs. Oh, the wigs, they were so good. But yeah, so I had a blast, but at the same time, like it was a lot of people in a very confined space, and so it definitely like I didn't get to see everybody that I wanted to see. Like Single Dad, like I didn't get to see him because it's just like no way to get to him in time. But yeah,
That's okay.
if I do go back, it'll probably be for like a group setting, or if like people who are very close to me want to go. But otherwise, I probably won't brave those crowds again because yeah, those lines were just too much for my brain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's rough. And I mean, if you've ever been to San Diego Comic-Con, I would say the crowds are actually worse at Anime Expo because they're trying to fit everybody inside the building. Whereas San Diego has so much to do outside the venues, and it's several city blocks. It's not like that for Anime Expo, and so you're confined to this one small convention. Well, not small, but this one convention center, and like the neighborhoods around it are like, no, you can't park here. It's like $50 for parking, everything. I saw that.
I'm sorry, that's what she did.
I mean,
I
50
mentioned
bucks.
it. She didn't
She's
notice
just
me.
not moving her head when she does it, but that's exactly what I'm thinking. She's grabbing the big green weenie and fucking owning it.
Yep. I mean, $50 for parking outside the convention center for the day. I mean, it's like everybody's trying to make bank off of this because they know the crowds are going to show up. But yes, I wholly agree that it has outgrown LA Convention Center. So, but it is the lead up to San Diego, which is not this coming weekend, but next weekend.
Next weekend, yeah. So
And we got officially, like, I guess it's going to be official. Alan is officially our boots on the ground. He messaged me and he's like, "Hey, you want me to do it again? Because I could do it again for this con." And I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" Like, you don't have to ask.
what was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm gonna be there at San Diego Comic-Con as well. If anybody is gonna be there, shoot me a message through Geek Boots and all that jazz. Cause yeah, I would love to see any of our fans that are there. And then
I shall
yeah,
not.
that's okay.
Well, rub it in our faces, why don't you?
No, I already mailed out my badge to a friend.
No, Mayan, not those.
Oh, I guess you said it, not them.
It's good to know that it's such easy
because all the
commands.
chats are like covering up the chest, so they just see like this.
Not for us. Okay.
Probably not for YouTube.
We'll see.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine.
It's okay. We're not monetized.
Yeah, no, not yet.
That's true.
That will make
Now, Spider-Man. I don't remember the rest of it. Your kids know it by heart, though.
Does whatever Spider Pig does.
Spider Pig.
Wait a second. Can your kids do the song again? Even though it's not relevant anymore?
No.
I'll
It's
see.
okay. It's okay.
He's like, no.
They're doing Overwatch. I
I
don't want
know.
to interrupt.
Yeah, no, they're all on the couch.
Okay.
Well, no,
And
one's
yes,
paying attention.
Uh-oh. Hey.
Sing the
Hi.
song. Oh, they can't hear us.
They can't hear you. He's the only one that's not occupied at the moment. One of them's playing Battlefield 1, the other's playing on his tablet, so.
Well, then you sing it. You're the one who taught
No.
him it.
No,
Yeah.
It's
No.
cuter when
Why?
they do it. It's so
I
much
love that.
cuter when they do it.
No.
you don't own me.
Mhm.
I mean,
Not yet.
Oh man.
I was gonna say,
You're not the boss of me
I
now.
got you first.
You're not the boss of me now.
I kinda am. I'm the host, so
Oh.
shut the fuck
Until you pay us, you're not
up.
our boss.
Until I pay you.
So I said, until you pay us, you're not our boss.
Anyway, Spider-Man. Okay, so
Spoiler free first.
Spoiler-free review first. What we thought of the movie, and then we'll go in depth. We'll rate it. We'll talk. We'll say how it stacks up against the rest of Spider-Man, and if it's our new favorite or not, and which one's still our favorite. So I'll go first. Spider-Man 2 is still my favorite, hands down, with Tobey. Still is. I would definitely rate it a 9 out of 10, though. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Really good time at the movies. Definitely got to go see it. Single Dad, your turn.
So absolutely love this movie. And the reason for that, the usage and the imagery, going back to the original Stan Lee and Ditko artwork, and I'll be able to go into this a little bit more in the spoiler review, but taking the source material, I think this is one of the best movies, not just Spider-Man, but one of the best comic book movies that has taken the source material. Yes, they took liberties with it, but, and we'll get into that in a minute, but they took the original material and it just felt organic. It felt good. This, Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man now, just with his portrayal of Peter Parker and the smart, geeky, nerdy, just klutz. So.
All right. Cosplay Genemy, since you're the huge Spider-Man nerd and lover.
Spider nerd.
Spider nerd.
Spider nerd.
What'd you think?
Spider nerd.
Oh, I really enjoyed it. I have some qualms, some amazings, and I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Oh, by the way, you guys didn't say how it stacks up against the other ones. Other Spider-Man
did.
movies.
He did.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did in his own way. You did ish. Being it's your favorite.
He said
I would say it would be
comparison to comic book movies with source material. So yeah, he did.
Okay.
Thank you for paying attention.
I got you. I got you, Dad.
The
What?
girls listen.
And you know what? Maybe later. Don't threaten me with a good time, good sir.
I'll be the camera
As
woman
the
for
kids
that.
wave.
Yeah, that
I'm
was,
so glad they were looking at the TV at that moment.
And now they're back. They're like, what are we missing?
What we do in the
Nothing.
shadows.
What are we doing in the shadows? Anyway, continue.
yeah. What do I rate it against the others? I liked Homecoming better, but Tom Holland is still my favorite Spider-Man as well. Yeah, I'll go a little bit more in the spoiler stuff, but yeah, that's. Yeah, I like him better than the other. I don't know. I just like how he portrays Peter Parker the best.
Well, all right then. Mayan Goddess.
I will say this: if you have not seen Spider-Man yet, or Spider-Man: Far From Home, you need to see it. Good God,
Yeah.
girl, you need to see it. Holy crap!
Mhm.
I very much enjoyed it. They definitely went into the details, like there was stuff that I noticed and it was really cool, and then I talked to my friend who had seen it and he noticed other things, and it was like the nitty-gritty details. They definitely took their time, and I very much respect that.
Yes.
I would also give this like 9 out of 10 for sure. As far as like other Spider-Mans, I would kind of put this on par. Can't really say it's better than Homecoming. It's about the same. But yeah, Tom Holland definitely like he took Peter Parker and made it his own, to the point where it's like I can't see him without thinking of Spider-Man now. Like that's how good of a job he did. But yeah, definitely go see it. Definitely go see it.
J4.
I would probably give it a good 7.5. I really enjoyed it. It was a fun movie to watch. Definitely my favorite Spider-Man movie. With Homecoming at a close second. I don't really like all the other ones, in all honesty. They weren't great. Especially
Spider-Man 3 was the best movie ever.
You have just.
Oh my
made
God,
an
Robin
enemy of
Wolfman
Jenny.
just said that like not too long ago.
I'll be honest, I can't, like, I don't know if it's his face or if it's just his portrayal of the character, but I can't look at Tobey Maguire and not just, he has a punchable face. Like, you know when you meet those people and you just like, I don't know why. I just
that's
want
what made him a good Peter Parker.
No,
But I don't think he was a great
Just punch him in
Spider-Man.
the face.
no, like
Yeah,
I
because he
disagree.
was the nerdy kid. Most people don't really like the high school.
It wasn't because he was a nerdy kid that I wanted to punch him in the face.
He just has
Hey,
a little chubby cheek at you, and we're like,
he
he's
just-
got
Like he looks way
balls.
too old for the part, which
Like,
drove me
it's-
crazy.
Yeah, definitely that. He was way too old to be playing. You shouldn't have a 35-year-old trying to pass as a 17-year-old. It's not going to
Welcome
work.
to literally every movie in the 90s.
Right?
It's true, but some of them at least looked like kids.
Yeah. Like Tom Holland, he's in his early 20s. He at least still kind of passes for, okay, not quite 16 like they were saying in the movie, but like 19, 20. Yeah, I can see it. But it still was pretty good. I thought it was very adorable. It was entertaining. There were things that were exciting, and it did a good job of bringing a lot of emotions. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. Is it a like great movie? But and I'll get into why when we do why I think that when we get into our spoiler review. But it definitely worth going to see.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have now 5 seconds to get the fuck off of our show so that we can talk spoilers. And while Mayan
Spoilers.
Goddess fixes herself.
Sorry.
It's going to take a lot more than 5 seconds for her to do that.
Oh, you little
But
muppet. Oh my God. That was
happened. All right. 5, 4, 3,
Get out!
2,
Go!
1. Spider-Man Far From Home. Okay, I'm gonna start off by talking about the thing that I got stopped from talking about. Yeah, so she doesn't know the comics very well, and Mysterio being Mysterio, and she's like, "Wait, is he gonna turn bad? No!" And she like screamed no in the theater. I'm just like, "Oh, that's how you know when someone hasn't read the comics."
That's how you know she don't know shit.
I appreciated that practically every license plate that is in that movie is an Easter egg to a comic book.
Yes.
Stop. Your boobs are everywhere. You know what? It's fine. It'll get us the ratings that we need. So it's
Sorry.
cool.
Oh my god.
Money, money, money!
Yeah, right?
Why was you supposed to know the thing? Calm your tits.
Calm your tits.
I'm your tit.
Literally.
No,
You know
just
what?
one. Leave your other tit out. That's your party tit.
Anyway, I
I like the female version of a mullet.
oh my god. So much no.
Come on. Where is it? Where's the dolphin?
Sorry, it's
Almost there.
machine gun laugh tonight, apparently.
It's there.
Oh, that's really funny.
She was distracted by her own tits.
I would be too.
Right?
Dude, if I had them,
You do what
Yeah.
he's talking
all day
about.
long.
I'm kidding.
All day
I-
long.
I'm really having to work hard during
I
these
mean, y'all
weeks.
elephant, so
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
No, Walter
Okay.
just said female version of a mullet is the landing strip.
Just in case you didn't know where you were going.
Meanwhile, everybody who's like listening to this right now, who is like, you're gonna be like, so when are they gonna talk about Spider-Man?
never, never, never.
It's just
We'll make it
boobs.
there in the edits.
Yeah,
Yes,
but it's-
eventually.
Oh, this ain't getting edited. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
He's like, I don't edit shit when I put it on TV.
Fuck.
That's gonna
Um,
work.
Yeah, so I loved Jake Gyllenhaal's performance as Mysterio. That was fucking incredible. I really also enjoyed that they talked for a minute, the guy who got yelled at by Obadiah Stane, and then not 10 minutes later gets yelled at by Mysterio. I'm just like, oh man, I'm sure he's having some moments right now going, man, I thought you were gonna be different. Yeah, that was fucking great.
Leader PTSD.
Yeah, right. Oh shit. I'm surprised
happened?
I'm surprised that group basically was just so all for this because he was treating them like full on garbage a majority of that entire time. I'm like, wow,
Yeah, but
okay,
he promised them lots of money.
that's true.
Yes, I need the cape ironed.
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
yes,
Yes.
She was like my favorite, just so you know.
It's like, do you still need the cape? Yes.
I might literally be shaking hands with the queen,
Queen.
later on.
Yeah. Still.
And
Um,
I've made it my mission. All the cosplayers that I see that are posting their progress pics of their Mysterio cosplays, I'm posting that on their on their stories and everything like that.
Nice.
I've made that my mission.
That's a good mission.
You might literally be shaking hands with the queen. Make sure you iron that.
And then I of course loved the fact that so many people had been trying to theorize who could be a Skrull, and it ends up being Nick Fury and Maria Hill the whole entire time. Like, holy shit!
Yeah.
So that's pretty fucking awesome.
Now, the
and
real question is
So
how
where's
long
that
would
leading
the
to?
Skrulls?
It made a lot more of the some of the quotes that he said make sense
Yeah.
by the end.
Don't
Yeah.
invoke her name.
Yes.
No, yeah.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
wait,
yeah.
what? Why would?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was totally out of character for Nick Fury. So
Yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
something was up at that point.
Yeah.
I thought that was odd phrasing.
Yeah.
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 It's
Between
and
that
then-
and the
and
oh
then it
yeah, he
turns
didn't
out to
catch
be
it at all.
perfect.
I was like, Nick would totally catch that. Girl, what?
yeah, I mean, I can see Nick Fury deciding to say, okay, after Endgame, I'm gonna take a vacation. But I mean, again, like you said,
Or-
J4,
I said-
we don't know.
No, we know
I-
where
I-
he is though.
No,
I
no, no.
said
What
they
I'm
We
did.
know
saying,
where he
No,
is.
yeah, no,
He's
but
in
how
sword
long has
base.
he been on vacation?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
He's
the
not
real
on
question.
vacation.
They
He's
did
on
wife
sword
swap.
base.
He's on what base?
Sword.
Or
They did. They did wife
You
swap.
can still vacation there
Planets.
Yeah, obviously.
on the one screen. Okay.
Yeah, duh. And then
That's what I do with my gaming. Okay, calm down.
my last thing that I absolutely
swap
loved.
with Planet.
I played a lot of Spider-Man on PS4, so to see JJ come back the way he came back, I absolutely loved, because instead of a newspaper agency, he's a radio/TV host, which is exactly the way I saw him in this movie. So I fucking love that, because I hope to God now, when we do another Spider-Man movie, however they turn it, he's sitting there listening to the radio, and you just got JJ intermittently through the movie just giving off these random news alerts. He's a menace just throughout the entire movie.
Did anyone else catch the InfoWars call out for that?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
was cracking up. I was cracking up.
Peter Parker. Oh my God! What the? Cut to black.
That was great.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
It's a callback
every
to
movie gonna
Aunt
end
May
with-
saying,
Yeah,
Aunt
when
May.
she said that, yeah.
Like, is every movie gonna end with, the cutoff?
if they better.
Yeah, because they
They've
started
set
a
the
trend.
precedent now.
They started a trend. We got to keep going because now we'll all be mad if they don't.
They've set the precedent.
They're setting
Only
that
next
up.
time it's going to be happy.
Not gonna lie though, like, I'm glad that.
Or MJ.
No, can you imagine anyone else playing J. Jonah Jameson?
No.
Like,
No.
it had to be him.
Really
It
not.
had to be him.
Yeah,
I mean, he
it's-
looks
it's-
just like the comic guy.
He not only looks, but he sounds like. when I
Like,
was
yeah,
reading
you would read
comic
him.
books,
Yes.
yeah, when I
Yeah.
would read him, that's how I kind of imagined him.
Yes, he
sounding.
sounds exactly how you would read him.
So anyway, those were my favorite moments. I don't really have any.
So your favorite moments were the ink.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. Because that's the main reason why I rated it at about a 7.5. Because, like, when your best moments are after the movie,
Well, okay, so I said
it's kind of
best
a
moments.
letdown.
I've listed a lot of things, a lot of little things. The whole movie's really entertaining. I appreciated everything that was Mysterio mostly. That was what I appreciated. Now, of course, there's the whole, plays AC/DC. Oh, sweet! I love Led Zeppelin. Made me want to both punch Tom Holland in the face, but at the same time, I laughed my ass off.
Because
You know
they're
what the
playing
sad
up
thing
him
is?
being young.
Yeah,
You know what the sad thing is? I was the only person in the theater that laughed.
Oh no.
that's how
Oh.
old you are.
And it makes me concerned that I was the only person that got it.
You should. I'm having technical
laughed.
difficulties. This is obviously on YouTube, and I just want everybody to know that my microphone is having technical difficulties. I just now realized it's falling off of where I've got it placed. So that's fun. Any hooser.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. There are a lot of little moments that I enjoyed, but mostly for me it was the whole Mysterio thing. Peter Parker making his own suit was pretty cool, but here's where I give it a negative review. Right now, the reason why I don't like this whole entire angle, I love Tom Holland, he's doing a great job, but what I don't like what they're doing with Spider-Man in the MCU is they're giving it a Iron Man Jr. vibe.
I disagree. I think what your mic is trying to tell you is to shut your dirty horse mouth.
Right.
I actually disagree. It seemed more that it was setting it up actually in the opposite direction. He's not trying to be the next Iron Man, and he knows that. And he's coming to grips that's what may have been expected of him, but he needs to forge his own path. He's gonna use the Stark Tech because
It's already there.
that's just the right relationship that they had, and
It's already there. Why
and Tony
recreate the wheel?
exactly, and that's what Tony meant to him, and it makes sense to do that. But he's still going his own way. He's not making a bulletproof suit.
He's building on something already.
He was
Yeah.
making his own. He was getting to create himself. Though I did appreciate Tom Holland's homework because he had a lot of the RDJ / Tony Stark mannerisms down, like with the
Yeah.
cross and he definitely did his homework on that.
Was it even dead? I'm still the hero.
Yeah, Edith.
Edith.
Yes, Edith was great. That made me giggle a lot. And I'm
Yeah.
glad that they did kind of a tribute to all of the past superheroes and not just
Right.
Oh,
and in this one.
all the ones that died. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
don't know.
I like how they call it the blip, and it's kind of disconcerting, but at the same time, it was kind of cool that they kind of turned it into a joke.
Well, yeah, because all the ones who
It
were
kind of bugged
Well,
me a
because they were in
little
high
bit.
school, it like that makes sense.
well, plus all the ones who blipped are the ones who they didn't know anything happened. They didn't know anything
Yeah.
different other than they were there, they were not there, they were there, and it was fiction. It was fiction.
Yeah, I do appreciate, because I mentioned when we were talking about Endgame, and everybody came back. They were like, "What are they going to do about like the kids who stayed?" They addressed that, and I appreciated
did.
that.
I
I
did
very much
like
right
that
away.
they did address everything.
They put that in. This is what's happening. They even addressed the fact that there was now kids who were in their class who were originally younger than them, and
I like that one
his
kid's
kid
like,
brother.
And
it's
hot.
like I left, and all of a sudden my little brother's older than me.
Yeah, those are the funny.
He's just, and then all of a sudden you just see the mind blow in his face again, and he's just like,
he's like really annoyed with it. Like it was not, that was not a cool thing. He's like, it was a little brother, now it's his older brother, and it's very weird. And I would like to address the drinking thing because I didn't think about all this. They're all 16. They
Yeah.
flipped. Their IDs all say they're 21.
21.
he was flipped.
Yeah.
All
yeah,
of their
I
IDs.
heard
Yeah,
that
they
reference.
did address that there, but at the
Yep.
same time, how do you go about the laws now? Because now all of these kids have IDs
Yeah.
that say they're 21.
I wonder if they have to like go through the IDs and say like blipped or
I
not
mean,
blipped.
I bet they probably
They-
have to have some indicator on them, but that means they
do
have
like
to
they
get
do in
people to
sports. They
go-
just put an asterisk next to it.
Yeah, but that means they have to get all those people who blipped to go and tell the DMV that they've blipped.
Well, it's kind of like with California. We had to get new IDs.
Just blanket across the world. Everybody go
Right.
get new ID.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yep.
don't see why not.
Yeah.
Expensive.
Yes,
Yeah,
because that
they-
works
well,
so
yeah,
well.
It's expensive, but they did that when the Jewish people immigrated here into the U.S. I mean, yeah, it was all over Staten Island, but that was a lot of fucking people
Yes, but
getting
that
fucking
was
citizenship.
that
and
was
shit.
everybody
So I
coming
don't-
in. That wasn't like everybody already spread out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Washington has to do that soon.
Yeah.
Shh, don't remind me.
On a side note, since you mentioned the PlayStation Spider-Man game,
Okay.
I did appreciate the selfie moment because that was a nice
Yes.
little call out. I was
Yes.
like, yeah, girl, get it. So I like,
I'm just glad you
Gamer
didn't do
side,
that just now while shaking your boobs.
So,
She hides.
let me go.
so one of the things that I've definitely liked better about Homecoming is the villain. Like, not necessarily like the motivations or anything like that, but just how they were portrayed. I thought Gyllenhaal did a great job of at the beginning of making him look like a hero, and like it was believable, like lying through his teeth, but you can't even tell. Very manipulative, and then flipping a switch. Yeah, he seemed a lot more crazy, but like I didn't get that sense of fear that Michael Keaton brought with a look.
So here's the thing, Michael Keaton. Not only that, but like the way they rolled it out with the plot twist was genius. That was beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And on that note, kind of similar to what Tom Cruise was saying, like I had a friend who had like didn't know about Mysterio at all. I don't know how, but like she was fully convinced that this guy was good. And then like right before she goes, "Wait, is he bad?" And I was like, "Well, he was bad in the comics. He was bad in the cartoon." But I did appreciate their attempts at like throwing people off the scent by like teasing at the multiverse theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that got a
616.
lot of people off, including all of us.
The
So, like-
616 call out was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that didn't throw me off at all. I'm not to like step all over that for a minute, but I'm sitting here thinking it's Mysterio. He's lying.
Well, like,
Okay, in the trailers when we were talking about Endgame,
Yeah,
we were like, oh my god.
my
Yeah.
comment on that episode, if you want to go back and look, was still, it's Mysterio. He's lying.
Yeah.
here's the
Like,
thing, like,
I remember
I
seeing
was
the
hoping
movie,
that
I was
they
just
were
like
gonna.
waiting for it, like, what the fuck? What the? When is it? What the?
I was really hoping that, because like I'd never read the comics, but internet, so I had found out way before that that Mysterio was a bad guy in the comics and in the cartoon. But I was kind of hoping that they were going to take it in a different direction until halfway in the movie, way nowhere near the climax of the film. He hands him everything looks like everything's okay, and he hands him the glasses, and I was like, all right, well, he's the bad guy. He's the bad guy. Before
I could kind of tell right before when like he like was about to run into the Ferris wheel and he hit something.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
There's something going on here.
There's the mystery. There's the illusion part. Here we go.
I enjoyed
Night Monkey.
Night Monkey.
Night
yes.
Monkey.
I really enjoyed the fact
Oh,
that
his friend is the best.
that with the character, with the Quentin Beck character, even though like he's the bad guy and everything like that, he feels for Peter. Like that's what I took away from it, is he actually feels bad for Peter, and he's upset that he has to kill him.
Yep. Yeah,
he didn't want to kill him, but he now has to because Peter knows. So, but that's the whole thing, is like he's a bad guy, but his motivations are purely monetary. That's it. He wants the respect. He wants the respect that he feels he deserved for the invention that he made, and he wants to be paid for it because Tony Stark didn't pay him and fired him. So that's my takeaway from the character, and he's not inherently
that. I think he wanted glory. He wanted a lot of glory too.
He wanted glory.
Yeah. I mean, he wanted what he we'll go back to previous conversations where he has expectations. It's that sense of entitlement that he has that is driving him literally insane. So
to be fair though, I think
to be fair,
sued by Leonard Kennedy.
Like by the time he was about to die, like he had kind of like derailed to the point where he did not give zero fucks about him being a kid.
Correct.
Because that twist at the end where he was like, if I'm going down, I'm taking you down with me, bitch. Yeah. I did appreciate the little meta moment though with the suit. When he was walking around in like the CGI suit.
Yeah.
I was like, that was meta as hell for Marvel, wasn't it? I laughed at that.
That's like, for realsies, that's one of your real suits.
Yeah.
But like Single Dad said earlier, I really appreciated the visuals with the hallucinations and the illusions. That was phenomenal.
May I, if I can for a second, I'll pull it up and you guys can, I'll kind of explain it. But this is actually from Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, issue 67. Like one of the panels in it, I mean, this is where he's fighting Mysterio, and Mysterio drops all these mirrors around him. That is, I mean, straight from the comic books.
Yeah.
And they took it and put it in the movie. And that's why I was so impressed with like the source material and everything. They stayed, I mean, with the effects and everything like that. Though they did it through the drones and the
they modernized it.
Yeah, they modernized it for the time.
They made it contextual.
Correct. Yeah. But they kept the source material, and I'm just that's why I'm so like geeked out over this movie, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, I think my only downfall is with the whole thing is I feel like Homecoming and Far From Home had too much of the same storyline.
Well,
I wish they would have gone with somebody else. I mean, I like Mysterio; he was a great person, but I felt like it was the same type of.
What you don't think two bad guys motivated by
Agreed.
Tony Stark are.
Well, not only that, they both presented themselves as the good guy, and they were, I feel like they were the same. They had all of the same motivations, and they just went at it different. And I think that was my only. I kind of felt like it kind of started to be almost the same movie, and I think that was my only. That's my only real
just you
downfall.
wait.
Can I
Just
tell
you
you
wait,
the
because,
one that I kind of felt it seemed like?
What?
Spider-Man 3.
Transformers,
No, I'm kidding.
Transformers 1 with the glasses.
Yeah.
Because Transformers 1, one of the only ones where I can actually like tell you what the plot is, because I remember like it's not just explosions and shit, but like the big like ex machina that, or not ex machina, but like the big MacGuffin were the glasses. So
Yeah.
I was like, hey.
Just you guys wait. We've had Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man Homeless. So just you wait for that movie. It's gonna be fantastic.
Spider-Man. Well, that's where Spider-Man does go. So.
You know that.
I was about to say, like, I don't know how they're gonna.
That actually could be a good.
Because like.
Okay, so what's going on with Flash? Let me just talk about this for a second. Every time he's talking to his dad, there's like some big issue with his dad in the background. Not sure if you guys paid attention to him. I've been watching Flash from the beginning because I know who he is. And I keep like watching him and trying to figure out what's going on. And I feel like they're going to do something.
Oh yeah, they definitely.
Like they are pushing him into something. And I don't know if they're going to do. Okay, this is like comic book. I was going to say, I think this is like comic book spoilers. I don't know because we've already got the Venom movie. I don't know if they're going to pull Venom from him, but that's already after he goes to war and after he comes, he comes back. So, I mean, that's kind of really in the future. I don't know if they're going to skip ahead. I would really like for them to get to college because I really think Spider-Man becomes amazing when he's more in college than when he's ever in high school.
It's going to
Less
be interesting
spectacular,
how they do.
more amazing.
Oh!
Oh, thanks.
That was such a dad moment. I'm so proud of you.
I'm so glad somebody did that.
It's going to be interesting where they twist it because they basically just like flashed his name in front of fucking everyone.
I know.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my God, that's like that. I don't know what they're going to do because that completely takes me away from like everything I know of Spider-Man.
They do have an out though.
Oh.
You can have Peter Parker and Spider-Man at the same time.
It is true because he does have Stark Tech now, so.
He also have Skrulls.
And Skrulls, yeah.
Oh!
So
Does he know that though?
But hold on. Hold on.
Which Sam Jackson does.
Holy shit.
Which leads to the next phase. We've finished up the Infinity. Where do you think the next phase of Marvel of the MCU is going? Do you think it's going to Secret Wars?
I do, but it's going to be different.
It has to be.
It would have to be completely different because the Skrulls are the villains.
Yeah,
and I like that.
Well, I guess that would be work because they could turn around because
I want to see it flipped on its head.
If they did, they would be nice. It would kind of remind me of Clone Wars with the clone troopers, where it was like they're our friends, and then Order 66. Yeah.
Yes. There's our Star Wars reference for the episode.
It wasn't you though.
It was at the same time.
It's okay. I got you.
Thanks.
Well, okay, so I do know that now that they own the properties to Fantastic Four and the X-Men, my honest opinion is that they're going to maybe take a back seat with the those parts of the Avengers parts of the MCU for a little bit, try and build up these other ones. So I honestly want to argue that they're gonna redo and do it better Galactus.
Question on that. Did anybody else pick up when Happy was talking to Nick, not Nick, but
Skrull,
and talking about leaving his surfboard?
I didn't get the reference.
Exactly.
Silver Surfer reference.
Oh my god.
He said it's not my surfboard.
Yeah.
I want them to do Galactus.
Let's
so
give him a
bad.
minute while he cleans up his
because
downstairs.
this
ties into
Fantastic Four, ties into Galactus. I
really want them to bring in new Avengers new storylines, new backstories. Yes, that's
Origin
it.
stories?
Origin stories of new, and then instead of trying to keep playing on some of the same.
Well, yes, but Fantastic Four and the X-Men are arguably the most popular franchises
Correct.
in all of Marvel Comics.
True.
And the fact of the matter is the original people who owned those properties have dropped the ball so many fucking times. Like, don't get me wrong, I kind of enjoyed the first Fantastic Four movie, but only a kind of, and I
For
appreciated.
entertainment value, yes.
Yeah, for entertainment
Well, we
value.
were also children when that movie came out, so.
Right, and I
I was
liked.
so excited for Fantastic Four.
I liked X-Men 1 and 2, but in terms of literally everything under the sun that is, whether it's canon continuity or they did something that really fucked it up, or horrible acting, Jennifer fucking Lawrence, you son of a bitch. Those X-Men movies are trash. I'm sorry, I have to admit, those they could do a lot better. And now that the MCU is in charge and they have done a pretty fantastic job with most of their movies, I am hopeful that they do a Fantastic Four and X-Men series and they do it justice.
I think
House
they're
of M.
doubt
great
I'll be-
things,
House
but yeah,
of M.
it's gonna take a while because Marvel very much plans all their things well in advance. Like
Yeah,
their
I've already-
phase is like, yeah, they've already got the next like what, however many movies.
Like 5 years.
We know
Yeah.
we know
So
that
it's gonna take a while for them to like phase it in. And if Marvel's gonna do it right, they're gonna take their time.
I'll be honest, I
And
don't.
that's the problem that.
I'm pretty sure I'll be
2020 Plus had.
retired before we see X-Men in the MCU.
Yeah. So honestly,
I'll be rocking a beard.
Sweet.
join
Me too.
us.
but yeah, like as far as X-Men is concerned, I kind of wish they stopped pumping it out because yeah, Dark Phoenix hurt.
I didn't even watch
I
it.
didn't even see it.
It was enjoyable. That's literally all I can say.
Waiting for Redbox.
Well, apparently it was Captain Marvel with X-Men instead.
Yeah.
The same plot.
Except, the Dark Phoenix could totally probably destroy Captain Marvel.
Everything. Yeah.
Literally everything.
Like
it would have been like a much different fight if Thanos came in and Phoenix was already there. I would have been like, bye bye Thanos, bye bye, bye bye, and then just die.
Yeah. Bye, bro.
Well, I mean that's like comparing Dr. Manhattan to Superman.
Yeah.
I will let you know on that, as I am currently reading the Doomsday Clock series, and apparently DC has now decided to say that Superman can in fact kill Dr. Manhattan. So about that, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I was gonna say that kind of reminds me of when we had Captain Marvel versus Captain Marvel. That's long ago.
Yeah, I already figured that out. I did some research and finally realized who would win that fight if they had to fight to the death.
Yeah, you told us the following episode, girl. Boy, girl. Sorry, I didn't mean to assume your gender. Forgive me.
You can assume whatever you want, huh?
If that was trying to be a
Okay.
girl voice, that was awful.
That was
You went
me
more
trying to
masculine.
That was just me not
Just
knowing
stick to your
what's
girl
going
voice,
on
and then I
right
could
now.
finally see that you're a guy.
Anyway, mostly because I didn't hear what you said, and I'm gonna move on.
Anyhow.
Yeah, Spider-Man was fantastic. It
It
was
was spectacular. It was
spectacular. It was amazing. It was
hope they just-
phenomenal.
I hope they just
It
kind of skip a few
was-
years though for the next one and.
Well, okay, so here's another thing that I just had to say is that after the success of Endgame and whatnot, they just originally they decided they were going to say after Spider-Man we're going to take a year off so you guys don't burn out, and I'm like, thank fucking God.
Yeah.
And then after Endgame made a pajillion dollars, they were like, yeah, we're going to not take that break anymore. I'm like, well, then you're going to have to fucking not have my paycheck for a while, because I'm sorry, I need a fucking break. I
This is the
do.
Guy who goes to like 5
Speak
movies.
for yourself.
Hey, you know what? I go to a bunch of different
Keep
movies.
keep
Just
feeding
one.
me.
Keep-
I know.
I
Keep-
will say
Keep
this, it does-
feeding me.
It does give
Mm.
other franchises a
A
chance to.
chance.
Yeah.
Well, see, here's my
If
thing.
only
Well, for
Warner
me
Brothers would figure its shit out so that DC can finally get a decent movie.
Yeah.
I don't watch TV. Like, I can't get invested in a TV series because that takes up a shit ton of time. When you're talking like Game of Thrones, how many episodes, how many seasons, how many, each
Don't
episode's an
start from
hour long.
4 seasons in.
I can't get invested into something, those things. Like I try, like the CW universe. They got 24 episodes a season for each show. And each episode is like 48 minutes long if you're watching it without commercials. Do the math.
Yeah.
That's a shit ton of time.
Yeah.
Versus you get about a 2 hour to 2.5 hour long movie. And at this point, we're at 24.
So
Over 11 years.
yeah,
Over 11 years. So
I think it was 23 actually. 23.
Yeah,
20
but
or
I
20
could do the 48 minutes and then take a break. 2.5, 3 hours. I start going.
Well,
Everywhere.
yeah, you do 2.5 to 3 hours, and
But, like,
then wait
well-
6 months for the next one.
Yeah,
I
and
also
the
like
thing with
I also
that,
like synopsis movies or TV shows where they can start and end with a whole story basically in it, even though there might be a backstory in the background going, but
Black
there's
Mirror.
still what?
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror.
Yeah, I don't know.
Love,
that.
Death, and Robots. I mean, come on.
Oh, I still haven't.
Girl, you need to see it.
I'm
Haven't seen
watching
it.
Charmed right now, so the new Charmed.
Oh.
I binge watched Stranger Things in 2 days, so I don't know what you guys
Yeah.
are complaining about.
Well, I think I did that in a week. No, wait, when did it come out? The 4th?
I think
Yeah.
the average that Netflix was reporting was 4 days.
I'm still working on it, so I'm on episode.
Maybe
4
like
right now.
5 days.
Never seen it.
Turn around.
It's like all bad horror movies, and then they put it in a TV show. It's amazing.
It's like 80s cult movies all in one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, it reminds me of my childhood. It really does.
yes.
Wow,
gonna-
you're old.
We're officially going to wrap this up now, ending that single dad is old. Good job, Iron Goddess. You fucking fuck.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Hey, boys,
Gravy
earmuffs.
of the wise.
Earmuffs. Fuck your fucking face, motherfucker. Fuck your fucking face, motherfucker.
Do you really think hands over ears is gonna block them from hearing that? Like,
No, that's just like my liability clause for the people that are watching this on YouTube.
okay, because your kids.
Oh,
did
yeah,
do
I
it.
can
because
say
they
I
all
did
know.
something.
They all know that really works.
Joke's on you. I'm not editing this. Anyway, yeah. So
Hopefully, all the people who watch this aren't parents.
Hi, guys.
tune in next week when we figure out what in the ever loving fuck we're gonna be talking about.
We'll talk about something next week.
We're talking about something. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Thanks for tuning in. This has been a jam-packed episode full of a lot of information, a lot of discussion. Thank you for
Fun.
joining us. Now I get to officially say this. If you liked what we're doing, if you like who we are, hit that
Yes.
like button, hit that subscribe button. What?
That's weird.
If you don't want to spend money on YouTube,
I'm probably gonna be like way over there, and it'll be like pointing to
Yep.
like
Follow us.
I'll be
Follow
pointing to the
us.
top
Yeah,
of somebody's
okay.
head.
if you don't want to spend the money on YouTube, I think Red is it where you can go through all the commercials and you don't have to do them. We do have our podcast. It is the verbal version. You don't get to see our lovely faces, but it's commercial free. I've tried it. So check us out on our podcast. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook as well for updates in the event these items don't give you notification, which they should. We also post randomly. We give shout outs to anybody who served on our Instagram account so that you can know nerds that have served their country and you can give them thanks. So this has been an exciting and jam-packed episode of Geek Boots. Mayan Goddess has one more thing she wants to add.
Also, if you want to listen to us live and contribute to the thing, there's also Twitch as well. And then for everybody watching Twitch right now, and you want to follow us on Instagram, all of our tags are on everyone's screen. So definitely follow everybody if you have no idea who they are.
Thank you.
There you go. This is Geek Boots. I am Tom, your host, Tom Cruise Cosplay. With me is a full house. Holy shit. We got the crazy boob dancing machine, the dolphin, as it's better known, Mayan goddess.
Oh God.
Yes, my son.
So excellent. If you ever meet her, it's real.
And then, as always, the beard, known as Single Dad.
What up?
We've got Cosplay Jenemy.
In the weird camera today. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I don't know. And
Don't judge me by today.
and as we will say until he's done with his deployment, he is fighting for our freedoms. Give him your thanks and your respects over to J4.
Toodles.
Yay, we got Toodles! This is Geek Boots signing out. Check us out next week for whatever the fuck it is we're going to talk about. Bye, everybody.
Deuces.
Bye.